Today we're diving into energy and mindset, and who better to talk through this than somebody who has walked the walk. We have Paige Fisher with us today from our Wayne location, and we're super excited. Paige, talk to us about your beginning journey with us, when you started with us, how long you've been in the industry, all the things.
Yes, I've been in the beauty industry since 2020, so about 5 years now. I started at Privé as a general assistant while I was still in beauty school. I was really drawn to Privé because of the focus on education. I got licensed and I worked my way up to become a personal assistant, where I had the opportunity and the honor to work under one of the top colorists in our company. I've now been building my book behind the chair for the past 2 years. I know, isn't it crazy?
Holy shit.
Oh my God, it feels like, yeah.
It's like taking a bullet.
It's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah, the growth in just 2 years is insane.
Well, this is what,
so
I kind
crazy.
of want to just quickly preface why Paige is here. And I feel like in prepping for this episode, we decided that we wanted to bring someone on who has evolved, who has overcome challenges, who has showed resilience, who is able to speak to an audience that may be struggling or has struggled in the past. And I think that you just have the growth, and the Paige that you are today sitting here with us is very different than the Paige that was starting with our company. So I just think you have so much to offer.
Thank you so much. And 100%. I feel like so much has changed, specifically in the past year. And I think we'll get a little bit more into that, what has changed for me and made the biggest impacts for me. But it really is so crazy.
Well, we're definitely excited to have you here. And
Thank you.
I do want to say, when we were talking about this episode and trying to figure out in the company who we should be bringing on, we were back and forth. So then we were like, you know what, let's just ask the whole leadership team. And when we did, your name came up right away.
Oh.
So it's like the way we feel about you, your team feels about you as well.
Oh, that makes me so
we're
happy
really
to hear.
happy to have you
Thank
here.
you, guys.
Well, you left out a key component to when you started out, and you were a driven, multi-job, working mama. So talk to us a little bit about juggling 2 jobs when you first started out, and how that kind of affected your career with us.
So while I was in beauty school, I was juggling 2 jobs, and I think that I always was coming up with excuses, honestly. Once I graduate beauty school, then I'm going to take a step away from my second job. And once I, become a personal, then I'll take a step back once I'm a level 1. And I think that all of these excuses were really just because I was afraid to take that leap. And it wasn't until that I got out of my comfort zone and left that behind that everything shifted for me. I feel like when you're juggling 2 jobs at once, I feel like you can only give half of yourself to each. So it wasn't until I let go of that and took a step out of my comfort zone that I was able to give 100%. And the blessings that came with that were abundant. And I feel like growth happened really fast once I got out of my comfort zone. I bet all on myself. And within the past year and a half, since letting go of that job, I've been blessed to receive 3 promotions in that time. I've taken on a new role at Privé, working with the apprentices as well. So a lot happened for me once I got out of my comfort zone. So,
All right, Paige, so much of what you just said has value, and I think we could dissect every element of it. But I do want to mention something that I think is so common with people is we convince ourselves there's reasons why we can't do things nonstop. The natural thing for human beings is to convince myself why I can't do it. And it's, well, I'm going to do it when this happens, or I'm going to do it at the end of next week, or at the new year, or when I get this. It's just constant. So I'm curious to know if there was anything in particular with your mindset that shifted, that forced you to overcome that boundary.
I feel like for me, I just knew I had outgrown it, and it had been so many times, talking to friends, my boyfriend, you said you were gonna, let go of that for so long. And I think it was just, I don't know if there was a specific event or anything that happened. I think I just was kind of sick of repeating the same, things that I was doing, working 2 jobs, not being able to give all my time and energy to my career as a stylist behind the chair. So I decided to just kind of bet on myself and go all in with that. And like I said, I feel like that kind of, once I was able to let go, I feel like that changed the trajectory of my career.
Okay. Go ahead. I think you're going to say what I'm going to say.
did the working two jobs, like, did that have any impact on like your mental health at all?
Probably. I feel like I was burnt out and I was trying to give a lot of energy to somewhere that I'm kind of repetitive with this, somewhere I had outgrown. Like, it was just my time to let go. And I think I was so worried about like financial, but I, I mean, it's come so full circle. I couldn't be happier with the decision I made. And so on my mental, I mean, yeah, I feel like I was burnt out a lot. I wasn't able to show up for my clients the way I can today because I am not splitting my energy in two places. Yeah. So probably just burnt out and not as focused, honestly, for me.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a common thing right now, like with the cost of living, like people, it's like very common for people to start out with us and work in two jobs. And I feel like they hold on to that for so long, even to the point where they get to be like on the floor, that they don't have time to really see the potential and the financial like investment, because they're so focused on like this other job. Is where like when you let go, you're able to focus all of your time and your energy on like building your business, and like you make so much more than you ever did at the other job.
100%.
So it's really hard for people to grasp that.
And not only that, in my, just like me observing how you're speaking about this period of your life, I feel like what I'm noticing is that moment, probably you walked in, and I don't know if it was you gave your 2 weeks, in person, or if you emailed or whatever you did with that other job. But I imagine that was the day that you were like, okay, now I got to put my big girl pants on, and I got to take this thing on fully. Otherwise I'm going to struggle financially.
I think it kind of was like a light switch. Like, it was that same day I actually reached out to my boss and I was like, hey, I learned so much in my time here, and I actually learned so much of my work ethic from my time there. So I'm forever grateful for that. But I was like, I just think I'm ready to take my career seriously and have more time for my clients, to continue my education. So I'm going to be taking a step back. And he was like, okay, you can like take yourself off the schedule. I took myself off that same week, gave up my shift, and I was just done. Like, I don't even think I told anybody that I worked with. I was just like, today's going to be the day. And I feel like for so long I would sit and be like, let me take a week to think about it. And that just prolonged this process of me not taking that leap. So that day, there was no specific event. It was just like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So that day you were all in, and I feel like getting back to Alicia when she questioned you about your mental health, working two jobs, I'm sure that day felt like a lot lifting off of you, and especially having a boyfriend and a social life, and on top of everything else, I'm sure you got some freedom back.
I think it was really important too, because I didn't always believe that I could, be a super successful stylist behind the career. I didn't always see that in myself. So having a strong support system that was like, no, you can do this. Like, you don't have to juggle both. You can go all in with this and it will work out in your favor. And it did. So I think having people that really believed in me and could remind me of who I am when I couldn't always see that was really important for me during that time too.
That's great.
Yeah.
Talk to us about like when you were first starting out, how I guess like what your mindset was like when you first started out versus now, and like how, I feel like you have like a really positive outlook on not only work but life as well, and I feel like a lot of people look up to you. So talk to us about like how it was and how it is now.
I feel like I started at Privé when I was freshly 21. It was actually the day after my 21st birthday. I remember this so vividly. So I feel like I kind of grew up at Privé, and, I'm so blessed that there's so many mentors and stylists to look up to, where I've learned a lot of professionalism. But that's kind of tough for me, because I don't know if I always view myself as someone that people look up to. Although, like, I have noticed, like, people will ask me questions and sometimes watch what I'm doing. I feel like that came from just showing up even when it was hard, and I didn't always, feel like things were happening for me. I always showed up, and yeah, I put in the work. So I feel like now I'm just a little bit more confident. And
I know, Paige, you are like one of the most humble and approachable and genuine and kind-hearted, and all of these qualities are such such an asset, really,
you so
because I feel
much.
like that is why people are looking up to you. Like, I think you have a phenomenal business, but just the way you operate in life in general, like, you're just a magnet to people. I think people want to be around you. They feel comfortable. They feel safe. And like, that is just incredible. So keep doing you.
Thank you. I feel like I lead with like empathy and understanding, and of course, like my personality. I have a big personality,
Oh my God, you're the
and
best personality.
Yeah.
I
you
look
so
back at
much.
my pictures from Jamaica, and some of my best pictures are with you in them, and I'm just like, I
Absolutely.
love her. Even when we talked about going to Jamaica this time, I'm like, I'm not going if Paige don't go.
Yeah.
So if it was like game over for me if you weren't going.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, but I feel like I just kept trying to show up and be better than I was the day before, and also for people that don't always like see their potential always, I feel like I'm really good at always pointing out the good qualities in somebody. I feel like I try and be everybody's biggest cheerleader, so I feel like that plays into it too. Like, I definitely am a team player and can see the good in everybody that we work with and surround ourselves with. So
Absolutely.
Well, like Mon said, like you're a magnet, but I think a lot of that has to do with the way that you're always like so positive. And I feel like that's really hard in this industry because, you know, you're dealing with people all day. It could be draining.
Yes.
You could deal with difficult clients, difficult situations. So talk to us about how like you lead those moments behind the chair with like calm and clarity and confidence.
So I have two things for that I feel like that are huge. Like, one, this is something I learned at my job before I was at Privé, is you gotta leave your shit at the door. And I feel like I feel like a lot of people don't want to hear that, but you really have to leave your shit at the door. And for me, like, I truly love what I do, and it's so rewarding that work is an outlet for me. I feel like the other thing with that, like leading the appointments with like confidence and calm, comes from like a really structured consultation, and that comes from practice and also like learning from my mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes and learned from them, and now I kind of know like a structured consultation is everything to a successful appointment. And that way, you know, we go over everything, we go over the expectations, the reality of what the appointment is going to be, so it's not like me panicking like while they're at the bowl, like I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to be a brunette? Are they going to be blonde? We don't really know. Like, we're going to see. I don't feel that way anymore because I've made also continuing my education non-negotiable, and I think that's so important to be confident in this industry. I have like the mentality, and I always have, that I'm like forever a student. And I think the minute that you kind of stop learning and you don't have that, you're not inspired to learn anymore, your career's kind of over and you might like plateau, in my opinion. So learning from my mistakes, all the experiences, good and bad, I feel like that really has just helped
Paige,
me a lot.
how old are you?
I was just going to ask.
How old are you? I need to know
24.
this. You're 24 years old. She's 24 years old. Like,
Isn't that crazy?
This is insane. Like, I am so blown away at some of the individuals that are a part of our company that are in their early 20s, between 20 and, I mean, some of them are even 19, whatever. But the work ethic and the understanding of the mental and emotional part of what we do behind a chair at such a young age is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And I sit here today and I just look at you and I'm like, my God, like, I can only imagine what this journey is going to look like for you. And I'm so excited to be a part of it and just, you know, watch you flourish, because everything that you're doing, everything you're speaking right now it's unbelievable.
What were you doing when you were 24?
I don't want to tell you.
Please, what were you doing when you were 24?
We were passed out in a cab in Miami trying to figure out what address we were going to. Yeah, but I most definitely was not thinking about,
Your mental capacity was
Like-
way larger than theirs. Just let's put that out
like
there.
I'm just so mind blown. And like the fact you have everything, like your lineup, your priority list right now is so impressive. I mean, education, non-negotiable. I'm a forever learner. These aren't comments that normal 24-year-olds make. Like,
you.
these are things that I learned at 35. Like, I'm just so impressed. Yeah, I'm so
know.
impressed.
Thank you
I'm
so
proud
much,
of you.
guys. Thank you.
But yes, I would say that I guess, like, how did you get here? Like, mentally? Like, I need to know. Like, are you listening to podcasts? Are you reading books? Are you doing therapy? Like, what is happening in Paige's world that has gotten you to this point where you are so grown in regard to your own growth and progression as a human being?
I I feel like when I started at Privé, I was actually kind of like on the fence because you had texted me, as I said, like the day after my 21st birthday. And when I was 21, my priorities weren't really like my career.
As
at
they
21.
listen, I want you to own that because that
Yeah.
is what 99% of 21-year-olds are doing. And I think that speaks to a lot of people in the audience.
And that's okay. For me, I'm a all or nothing person, and it was hard to find balance for me for a long time. I think like kind of what was it? Like last summer I had a lot going on in life, and I had taken this trip to Miami, and I like came back and I was like, Leash, I'm moving to Miami. Might work at a salon there. Might be a club promoter. Not really sure, but like probably not going to be here for too much longer. Like just a mess. And I was,
sounds really familiar. I'm in deja vu over here with this one. I know.
The reality of that is I was a little bit manic, and I just, with partying and stuff, it can be so fun, and that's the age for it, but it was never like really fulfilling for me. At the end of the day, I think like, as I said, balance is really important, but kind of once I had my head a little bit in a clearer space, like I find so much more fulfillment through like my career and what I do than like partying and things like that. I feel like that was the big shift for me, was finding balance in my life.
Well, it's obvious your balance is so on point because you were out partying for your 21st and then showed up for a new job the next day. I'm impressed you even showed up.
But
at least you showed up. I mean, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like for me, kind of getting fed up with like that lifestyle, like as I've said with many things, like doing the same things over and over and getting the same outcome. So yeah, I feel like for me, kind of just finding balance in things.
I can't remember. I don't know. I know we talked about you like taking a little short leave, but did you wind up doing it or no?
No, I didn't, and I'm really glad I did not. Because I don't know if I would have come back. And like I was just really on this high after I had taken this trip, and I was like, oh my gosh, like there's just so much that life has to offer. Like I felt kind of lost, but it's kind of funny how everything like aligned. I met my like boyfriend now shortly after that, and he just brought me so much stability and like really saw things in me that I didn't always see in myself. So I feel like a lot of, I can't give him all the credit obviously, but I feel like having like a stable environment at home was like really huge, and I was able to fully dive into work and like give it my all through that too. But yes.
Miami definitely does something to people.
Oh my gosh.
Because like I can relate to you. Like I go to Miami, and when I come home, I'm like, do I want to be married and a mom still? Like I could be living a single life down there on the beach every day. Like Miami definitely, it's like one of those things. It's a high. You go there and you're like high on life, and then you come home and you're like, this is my reality, and then you're like, no, I'll take this any day over Miami. But
100%.
Miami definitely mind fucks you for a split second.
100%.
I gotta tell you guys, listen, right before, and I've talked about this before, but right before I decided I was going to open a salon here, I had applications. I sent them to every salon in Miami. I was so dead serious. I'm moving to Miami, and I'm leaving this world behind me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to the house lovers. But yeah, I need to know more about Mario and his role in this, because I do feel that like now that we're talking through it, there was something that happened there with this relationship that you're in. What is his life? What is his life like? What is his priorities? Is he somebody who works out? Is he somebody who's, reading and like, tell me the things about him.
He is just like the most lovely person I've ever met. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this after Vogue just told us it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend, guys. Okay, hold on.
Oh my god.
Vogue just said that. Oh, okay.
Vogue, just stay in your lane.
Vogue doesn't want you to have a boyfriend?
No, they said having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
So what do they want you to do?
Just get engaged?
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. We didn't read the article.
Yeah.
But he is so lovely, and for me, I don't even, it's just so crazy to me. I don't even know how to describe it really. I feel like things just aligned exactly. Like I feel like God just had like a bigger plan for me. When I met him, I was really kind of all over the place. Like I said, I was like, okay, I'm going to move to Miami, might work at IGK, might become a club promoter. We don't really know.
Yeah.
But we got to get out. And he never like made me feel judged, and I could always be myself. And he always pointed out the best qualities in me. And I feel like for me, I've always actually, I don't know if people know this about me, I've always had a low self-esteem. So having somebody that, you know, could see the good in me and point that out really was just amazing for me and helped me to see that in myself.
Well, I definitely believe God puts people in your lives for reasons, and timing's everything. So
Yeah.
he came at a perfect time, it sounds like, when you were at a crossroads.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's given you the confidence back that you need.
100%. He's like
Shout
my
out to
biggest
Mario.
supporter. Yeah, he's great.
Do you think the person involved in your life before that was affecting some of your decisions and your mindset?
Probably. Like that was another example of me being comfortable. Like we had been on and off for a really long time, so it was a super familiar, comfortable relationship to me because of how like long that had went on for. But I don't think that either of us were happy or fulfilled, and I personally would love to, like, as I've said, like partying was one thing that truly got in my way. That won't apply to everybody, just for me and my personality type. It definitely got in the way of things for me. So I feel like since I was unhappy, I would look for like escapes. Like I'd go out all night and then I'd like come home at like 3 a.m. I have a shift at 7:30, like just a mess. Like it just wasn't good for me. So yeah, I do feel like if you're not in the right relationship or the right place, it will kind of trickle into all the other aspects of your life. So
I know that like you're super positive right now, and we talked about hitting rock bottom, but like were you typically growing up, were you always like a super positive person, or did this come later in life for you when you started to find like, you know,
definitely
your way?
later. I feel like people would have probably described me to be like a little actually pessimistic probably
Wow.
growing up.
That surprises me about you.
Low key.
I
Like,
need to
pierce
like
the
this is
veil.
what like I'm sitting here and I'm
Pierce the
trying.
veil. There's so many levels to like me. Like honestly, like we've been through a lot of phases. A lot of phases. But no, probably not. But I think it's because school. I have ADHD, so school like was not for me. literally stating the obvious. But no, I think it's because just I'm doing like exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm living like an authentic life. Like I can truly be myself behind the chair. Like I think I would be probably still pessimistic if I was like behind a desk 9 to 5, like typing emails. Like I feel like that's why I can be so positive, because I love what I do. It's so rewarding, and I can be like an authentic version of myself for
We
sure.
should start this
I love that.
episode out with, if you're a creative that has ADHD, tune in. And it's like everybody in our industry, you know, like that's
Yes.
So Paige, tell us in the audience something super interesting about yourself that nobody would know. I just caught you so off guard, didn't I?
I'm such an open book. Like this is tough.
Anything
Oh.
juicy, anything good?
This is so not juicy. I mean, like, it's so obvious I'm a Bravo girl. Like, maybe, like, something that people don't know about me.
I know she's a Bravo girl because I said something during a meeting and you were like, yeah!
Oh, my gosh. No, like, immediately it was, like, something about the Countess. And I was like, yes. And I was like, I clocked
my
that. I
God.
got that one. Something that people don't know about me. I would say maybe, like, that I have a low self-esteem. I think people think I come off really confident, but, like, I am, like, I can psych myself out a lot. I definitely deal with a lot of, like, self-doubt.
That blows my mind. I don't see that in you at all.
Yeah, and like I know people think that I'm really positive, but like sometimes like I need to put the bat down. Like I'll be beating myself up
we're our
behind
own
closed
worst,
doors.
you know,
100%.
I do it to myself, so.
Paige, in that, in what you just said about beating yourself up and, you know, do you feel at times, like in our industry, I feel like imposter syndrome is something that we all kind of face. And is that something that you would say you face?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I texted Leash or my mentor at least after every single promotion, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a gap. Like maybe I wasn't ready. Like maybe I need to like demote myself. Like, oh my gosh, like yes. And even with you guys asking me, like people looking up to me, I'm like, what? Like people look up to me. So imposter syndrome is really real. And I think like the best way if you're struggling with that is to surround yourself with like-minded people that can help get you out of that headspace and remind you of who you really are. So yeah, I think having a strong support system that you can rely on really helps with that. But for sure, I go through that probably like at least once or twice a week.
I want to talk about social media for a second, because I know like we talk about it on the podcast a lot as owners, how frustrating social media can be and all like how it's shifted it so much in the past couple years and these influencers and everything. So as a stylist, what are your frustrations with it? What do you see that really drive you crazy?
I'd say for me, I'm a perfectionist, so it's really tough for me. I'll go back and forth, like, should I post this? Is this caption stupid? Like, it can be hard, for sure. I think that also keeping up with all, like, the trends and everything, like, there's so much out there. And it's also, like, really easy to overconsume. Like, you hear some people saying, only post your niche, like, only post dimensional color. And then you see other people like, no, you want to be a diverse stylist. So you're being fed a lot of information and trying to figure out, like, what is right and like what works for you. There's a lot out there. It's definitely really overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. In those moments where you're questioning yourself or there's self-doubt, and I imagine this can be in every capacity, right? It's personal life, it's social media, it's a consultation, it's a client that left that might not have felt great to you. How are you overcoming that? What are the things that you're doing to kind of get yourself in check? Is it reaching out to a leash or a mentor, or like, how are you reeling it in?
Definitely reaching out to like my bosses and my mentors a lot. Also, sometimes I think it's good to like take a step back. I have a hard time with that. That's something that like sometimes my boyfriend will point out to me. Like, we'll be out to dinner and I'm like on Instagram, like editing stuff, trying to message clients, and he's like, girl. And I'm like, okay, you're right. So sometimes just taking a step back, taking a breather can be really good for that. Finding balance in that, I think, is important, because it can definitely be hard, and it can be like a little bit, you can sometimes feel like you're like drowning in it, like it's all a lot. So sometimes I'll just take a rest day, like on Tuesdays. I feel like I'll like hang it up, and then like maybe get back into it on Wednesday. Try and have a plan. Like ChatGPT, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm shutting out ChatGPT, but like you guys actually talked about it on the podcast, and I was so against it, and I was like, you know what, if you can't beat them, you got to join them.
Listen, our AI episode with ChatGPT was one of our highest episodes view rate. I mean, it was like 30,000 views or something.
Yeah. So sometimes getting like, whether it's a friend like that I get a second opinion from, somebody in the industry who's like-minded, or like even like chat, like sometimes I'll consult with chat on certain things, and that, I don't know if that's technically right. I should probably just like pay for a therapist, but
pay for a therapist.
Yeah. That's probably what I should do. But
well,
like,
you know what? In all honesty, chat's probably giving you the same answers a therapist would. So
yeah.
why not?
To be true.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Post-party Paige. What are you doing on your downtime? What are you doing on weekends?
On the weekends, I feel like I spend a lot of time with family now. That's not something in my early 20s that was really a priority to me. Spending time with like meaningful people in my life, like my family. Also, you know, like this Sunday, we were blessed. We had that class at Privé. That was so good for me. Like, any opportunity I have to continue education, I feel like I was better about that last year than I maybe was this year. But I'm excited with like the education fund and everything coming back, getting back into that. I already have my eyes on some classes. But in my downtime, I love to take like a workout class. That's always fun. I always am at a coffee shop, just trying to do things that are fulfilling for me. Like I said, spending time with family. So more wholesome things nowadays.
For those of you listening, Paige is now heavily involved in the onboarding for our apprentice team. So I feel like whenever I have feedback for you, you're always like so willing to like take it, or like even ask me when I don't. How has that been for you on the reverse side, like giving feedback to the apprentices who are first starting out?
It's hard. I do this role with one other person, Peyton. She, we kind of play the good cop, bad cop role, and that seems to work for us. I'm the good cop. I'm the good cop. I just sometimes, but I've gotten better with it. Like, I feel like we had a conversation, and you know what? Like, for me, I feel like feedback is such a gift, and maybe when I was younger, like at that apprentice level, I would take it personally or feel like it was an attack, but your best mentors will be the toughest on you. And it's only because they see that full potential in you and they're pushing you to that. So kind of letting go of the ego when you're taking feedback so that you can grow is huge. Giving it, I mean, I feel like I'm doing somebody a disservice if I'm not being real with them and I'm not letting them know, you know, this is what you can work on. But I tell everybody, like, you have to be bad before you can be good at something. So we all have to start somewhere, and as long as you just keep showing up and keep trying, you're going to get there. So I feel like the best thing for feedback is viewing it as a gift and not taking anything personally. And it's so much easier said than done. But once you can really let go of like your ego with that, there's so much room to grow.
I'm so excited that our young talent is like being led by this 50% led by this example.
Thank you.
Like I'm blown away still, just jaw dropped over here. Talk to us about your biggest challenges with this role that you're in. If there are any, if there's something that you're like, oh, this was tough for me.
It can be hard to navigate for sure. Training the apprentices, everybody has a different learning style and none of them are incorrect. It's just, I think that's probably the hardest thing is making it a more individual experience rather than like, this is what we do for everybody because everybody's going to learn different. Everybody's starting at a different point too. Some people have been behind the chair and taken a step back and are in our apprentice program. Some people are like, sophomores in high school? So little. So trying to personalize it, I think can be tough. And then also trying to give feedback in a way like constructive criticism. I always want to have like a sweet delivery. I always try and sandwich it too, because I think that sometimes if you're just like, you need to improve on this, this, and this, that can be really defeating. So I always try and like lead with like a positive, what they could work on, and then a positive to follow that up. And I feel like that helps me.
Sandwich technique.
Yes.
It's key.
It's like the perfect equation.
Right. It's so
Every
good.
time.
And when I talk to the apprentices, they're always like, you always have something good to say. And I think that means a lot to them too. Because the day gets so busy and sometimes like we forget to point out the small wins. And I think that's so important. That's one of my favorite things about the company is that we do make sure to celebrate all the wins, big and small. I think that's so impactful for people.
Well, we say it all the time on here. The delivery of feedback is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because everybody takes it different. Like there's just emotions involved sometimes and sometimes there's not, but it's all about your delivery. And I think you do a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like for me too, like one thing that really helped me starting out when I like stopped taking it personally is I kind of had this mindset like, how lucky am I to not be the smartest one in this room? That like there are so much that I can be like corrected on. That means that there's so much growth still here for me to do and so much for me to learn. Like my time in this room is nowhere near up because I also really respect all my mentors and coworkers. And I think that's huge too. Like really respecting the people that are giving you advice. And if there is somebody who's giving you advice that maybe you don't always look up to the way that they work or something, you take that with a grain of salt. But yeah,
Who's
I feel
your
like
mentor?
Peyton, Lindsay D, or Lindsay P now, and then Leash. Yeah.
Sweet.
I love it so much. Tell me how you handle somebody, and this could be within the salon, this could be within your personal life, whatever. But I'm just curious to understand how you deal with somebody who may not be in a positive state or someone who might be, because I feel like you have such a bright light. And I wonder if when you're around people like that, it can kind of dim you or drain you.
I definitely feel like that can happen, but that is why it's so important to, you got to get out of your own way. And I feel like a lot of times, like sometimes if we're in the break room, like there can be some negative conversations going on. And that's when I just need to get out of the break room. Also, I can relate and I can be like, oh no, that's definitely a bummer. Like that client, that was tough for sure. But, acknowledging, being able to vent versus like dwelling on it and being negative to me are two completely different things. Like sometimes I need to vent and just be like, oh, this really threw me off. And, when other people come to me with that, we can acknowledge that, but we also have to like find a way to get out of like that negative headspace and like what's the good that can come from this. Like for me, I just had I feel like when it rains it pours. I had a couple redos recently and I was really down about it. So again, like leaning on like-minded people, and one of my coworkers pointed out like how nice though that they're choosing to come back to you, that they trust you enough to come back, because I was like, oh my gosh, I like suck. Like, but yeah, so I feel like a lot of times like your outlook on things and how your mindset around things can either make or break like a situation for me. So I try and help people get out of like bad headspaces if they feel like they're falling into them. I always like to let people know like they can come to me whether it's hair stuff or life stuff. Like I'm always there for people no matter what. Sometimes you just have to talk to somebody, and I feel like that can really improve your mood and make you feel better. It takes like just a couple minutes to kind of hear somebody. Even with clients, I feel like sometimes you just need to like listen to them. Like maybe they just need to vent.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it.
For anyone listening who's like feeling drained or in a rut or just like stuck, what advice would you give them? Or even like what advice would you give baby Paige back in the day?
Keep working hard, keep showing up. Even when it feels like nothing's happening. Like I kept my head down and I was a level 1 for about a year. And it was tough. Like there were times where it would be weeks of like going in for just a haircut or two, doing discounted services. Keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because I think your breakthrough really comes after a season of unseen work. It usually happens all behind the scenes before it's acknowledged and applauded. Keep learning, never stop learning. As I've said like several times, like just keep, if you're making mistakes, don't get in your head. I mean, it can be easy to get in your head about it, but just try your best to learn from them. Always keep learning. Try and be better than you were the day before and focus on consistency and learning. I feel like that's the biggest advice I have.
I love it so much. All right, the last and final question. What does Paige's future look like? What is Paige going to be doing in 10 years? What are some things that you want to accomplish? Tell us those things.
10 years? Wow. I mean, like, it's so funny. I think when I was starting out, somebody told me, like, you shouldn't brand yourself with the company. I could not imagine myself, like, being anywhere but Paige at Privé. Like, so...
You had a Paige at Privé Gmail email.
I still do.
The first week she's...
Oh, immediately.
I love it.
Like, I don't even know if I was hired. And I was like, this is my email.
What's your email? And she's like, Paige at Privé at Gmail.
She's like, this is the application you need to fill out. No. So...
I love her so much.
And I love you guys. I love it here. So probably still at Privé.
Okay.
If everything goes to plan. Hopefully maybe like married, starting a family. And I love how Privé, this has always been one of my favorite things about the company is how family oriented we always have been. So yeah.
Gosh, my cup is full after this.
I love having like baby Paige and seeing her like from day one, the day after your 21st birthday party.
Yes.
Then seeing Paige now, and then we'll get to see Paige in 10 years.
Yeah.
And, like just watching the growth is so fulfilling. It's the best.
Thank you so much. And it's so nice, like, with the apprentice program and whatever, like, the next chapter holds for me, like, being able to pay it forward. I had so many impactful people in my career that really helped me, and it's so rewarding. I think that's one of the best things about our industry is being able to like educate the girls that are a little bit younger than you, and you can relate because you've went through the same. Building your book is hard. Like I remember my best friend's mom is a hairstylist, and when I was a level 1, she's like, how's it going? And I was like, not well, bitch. Like not well. Not so good. But she was like, give it 2 years. And I'm finally at that 2-year mark. And like back to like the last question, like don't give up. Like give it, I feel like that was some of the best advice I was given. Like give it 2 years, be consistent in those 2 years, keep learning, be a sponge, try and soak up everything. Even like watching the stylist in the salon, there's so much to learn from everybody there. The mentors, even like the apprentices teach me like new stuff all the time. But yeah, we're in a super rewarding industry and I'm just so grateful.
We are. There's something that's super fulfilling about seeing somebody grow, with you. And that's what I think when you said about helping the younger ones and being someone that they look up to, it feels good because you are bringing value to them. And
100%.
that is on a deeper level than just doing hair and taking your paycheck.
Yeah, 100%.
So, that's unbelievable.
I can't wait to see what's in store for you. I feel
Thank
like
you.
baby Paige has a seat at our education table already. I can't imagine what table you're going to be sitting at in a few years.
Baby Paige is taking a shot. Like, are you serious?
Yes.
Like, that's the
Cheers,
future?
bitch. Yeah. That's amazing.
Aw.
All right,
Well,
cool.
thank you for having me, guys.
This
It
was
an
so
honor.
good.
Thanks for coming on, Paige.
So good.
I know we're all feeling inspired AF. Hope you guys are too. If you could, quick way to support us is following, liking, and subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one.